Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Community Field here in Woodsville, New Hampshire, as a Division IV Woodsville Engineers host the LinWood Lumberjacks. Welcome today. My name is Chad Fillion. Beside me here at the breezy, windy, 87-degree desk is James Duguay. We got Skipper Fillion and Brody Torres up on our cameras and a handful of other cameras around the field. I'm excited to be here today. We are, like I said, live in Woodsville at Community Field. It's been a while since we've been able to broadcast any games from here because of the internet situation. But thankfully, they've got a few things up their sleeves to help us get to you, and that's what we're doing today. You're watching high school varsity baseball here on the Flume Stream Entertainment Network, brought to you by the Alpine Clinic and Littleton Regional Healthcare. Alpine Clinic's subspecialty approach to care guarantees our patients receive the high-quality, specialized care they need from our team of board-certified, fellowship-trained medical professionals. The Alpine Clinic is a division of the Littleton Regional Healthcare. Learn more at alpineclinic.com. And we are here in the pregame show. Today's pregame show is brought to you by White Mountains Community College, locations in Berlin, Littleton, and North Conway. White Mountains Community College provides quality education in your backyard. Visit them online at wmcc.edu. Your adventure awaits. We got LinWood just arriving a few minutes ago. We do have a game start of 4:15, which is just about right now. So unfortunately, due to the late arrival, we're going to see what we can do as far as getting them a little bit of field time. But I'm not sure what the protocol is from NHIAA as far as the late arrival and field time, or if they just got to stay with a 4:15 start time. I did get a chance to talk with Coach Kevin O'Brien earlier today to get a lineup from the Lumberjacks, but we do not actually, a roster from them, but we don't actually have the official batting lineup or their field positions. So I took it upon myself to at least put something in there so that you can see them on screen. But in a few minutes, we're going to roll a couple of commercials as things get settled in here. We'll go through the lineup and the starting batting order for the Lumberjacks, as well as the field positions for your Engineers. Like I said, you're watching the White Mountains Community College pregame show here on the Flume Stream Entertainment Network. We will be back in just a few minutes with your starting lineups.
Hi there, I'm Chuck Lloyd, president at White Mountains Community College, just talking to you a little bit about our college. We've been here since 1965. We've got 3 locations in Berlin, Littleton, and North Conway, and we're also online. We have a lot of technical programs, and we have a lot of online, remote, synchronous, asynchronous, whatever works best for your schedule. We are the only higher ed institution in New Hampshire above the notches. And what that means for us is we've got to be all things to all people. And we aim to try to do that by responding to workforce needs, industry and business, and partner locally with the needs of our communities. We could not be more excited to host new students coming in January.
At Woodsville Guarantee Savings Bank, we understand that everyone's different. We also know that we're a lot alike. We love the things that make us each unique and appreciate the things that make us similar, especially when it comes to money matters. That's why we're here, to help people just like you handle your personal or business banking and be the best you can be. To get started, visit one of our offices or open an account online at theguaranteebank.com. Woodsville Guarantee Savings Bank, just like you.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Alpine Clinic, leaders in orthopedics, sports medicine, pain management, and neurosurgery, offering specialized care in 4 convenient locations: Littleton, Franconia, Plymouth, and North Conway. And by Littleton Regional Healthcare. You're safe in our care here at Littleton Regional Healthcare. Call your provider's office today to schedule an appointment.
Covering you at home, at work, and at play, George M. Stevens Insurance is the only local agency to offer personal and commercial insurance, as well as health, life, and financial services. With offices throughout the North Country, we service your complete insurance needs. As a trusted choice insurance agency, we research coverage options from the nation's top companies to ensure that your policy works for you. George M. Stevens Insurance, protecting New Hampshire and Vermont since 1882.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on this sunny 87-degree some odd day here in Woodsville. And you are watching the White Mountains Community College pregame show. We're here actually about to do our starting lineup, and the starting lineup today is brought to you by George M. Stevens & Sons, offering home, auto, life, and commercial insurance throughout the North Country. Visit them at their locations in Littleton, Colebrook, Lancaster, and Lisbon, or check them out online at gms-ins.com. That's gms-ins.com. So first, for your visiting the LinWood Lumberjacks. Again, the starting lineup that I have here is just an assignment. This is not the official batting order, but I do think it's important to get these students' names up here. So from the top of the list down, we've got Colt Stoddard, Mason Clark, Daniel Halloran, Cam Manning, Brady Morris, Kason Burrows, Andrew Morris, Dev Patel, and John Perry. And then we do have a 10th player that I don't have their name yet. Some of these players I don't actually have numbers, and again, all these position assignments that you see, the only one that we do know that Brady Morris, according to talking with Kevin O'Brien earlier today, Brady is going to be on the mound, but that was the only thing that he knew of. So, but moving forward to the field assignments for your Woodsville Engineers, and take a look at those as we have. On the mound for the Engineers, starting off today, in his first varsity start, second game ever, we have Landon Kingsbury. Catching for Landon is Bryce Williams. Over at first, we got Cam Davidson. Mike Hogan over at second, with Jacob Putnam over at third. And then shortstop position, we got Jackson Boudreau. And then out there in the outfield, we've got Mike Massini on left. And then we have Mason St. Marie in center, with Nick Vigent in right field. And Jackson Horn is going to be our designated hitter for Nick, because Nick will not be hitting today. Or Jackson Horn won't be out in the field today, and Nick won't be hitting. So that is your starting field positions, and we'll take a look at the lineup for those Engineers when we see them in the middle of the first. But having a chance to talk with the coaches, both are expected today to be a little bit of a quick take. I do know for a fact that Coach O'Brien said that he's got 4 players that are out. He's got Jack Chase, who's sick, along with Liam Manning is sick. And then he's got the Good Boat boys that are over in Alaska traveling. So he's missing 4 of his players. He actually had to call up a couple of 8th graders to join them today to get their full roster and their lineup and come out here to play. So kudos to them for doing what they can to make this game continue to happen. It's been a little bit of a building year for the Lumberjacks. They lost 7 of their players last year, graduated out of the school system, so they're definitely in a rebuilding situation. But they're doing what they can to try to get the team built back up, to get them into a scenario where they can come out here to the field and play some good ball, knocking stuff around here on the bench. But you're here in the White Mountains Community College pregame show. We're taking a look at the Lisbon. I've said that twice now. We got Lisbon on Monday for softball. We got the Woodsville Engineers in the bench. They've been out there in the field. They've been warmed up. They've been hanging around. They're waiting. At this point, you kind of wonder if they're getting a little of that sun fatigue. So they're all hanging out on the bench right now, waiting for their game to get started. Like I said, the Lumberjacks arrived a little bit late. They left their school at about 3:15 and made their way up here to get in time for the game start. We are running a little bit behind right now. It's 4:23. Game was supposed to start at about 4:15. Maybe they've pushed it to about 4:30, but we're going to just sit here and talk a little bit about what we got going on. As for the Woodsville Engineers, we've got a couple of opportunities. We've seen they've seen these LinWood players earlier in the year on the 18th down in LinWood. It was a 1-hit, 9-0 win. But the LinWood team they put the pressure on them to try to make them do what they could to make an appearance. Woodsville went down there. They did what they could. It was an easy game for them on the full side of winning the game. But anytime you show up to a field where you got new players out there, talking with Coach Cox, he was saying, we're going to, rotate our players in and give everybody a chance to play, regardless of where they are in their positioning. And a game like that, when it was a 9-0 win, they saw a lot of their younger players have a chance to get out there and field and practice what was going on. Tonight, we're actually going to get to see, like I said, the first start, second varsity game for our pitcher, Landon Kingsbury. And then it's the first varsity start for Bryce Williams as the catcher. So we got a couple of individuals that are doing their best to put their best foot forward here in Woodsville. LinWood is doing what they can to bring the best game that they can. It's going to be a hard game for them. Definitely an uphill battle. They got a couple of 8th graders that they've had to pull up, and they're feeling the stress. They've got their record right now is a 4-5. Lost to Gorham and Littleton, and then Interlakes and Woodsville to start off the season. They did get a couple of wins in the middle of the legs there against Profile Lisbon and Pittsburgh Canaan. The Pittsburgh Canaan was a blow. A lot of back and forth with that. Was 15-10 was the final score on that one back in April. And then we got Lisbon with a won, and then Gorham was another loss, and then Profile was a win, and then they're here today for Woodsville. When you look on the Woodsville side, they lost to Blue Mountain, and then they lost to White Mountains High School, and then they had a loss last night against Gorham, a 6-2 loss. So they're coming in 8-3 for the season. I think my scoring actually had them as 9-2. I'm going to have to adjust that for elsewhere within the system, but we're going to take a quick break as things are continuing to warm up out there. You're watching the White Mountains Community College pregame show. We do have our starters, and at this point, we're just waiting for the green light from the umps to get those players out into the field. But we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stick around. Walker Motor Sales is a comprehensive Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram new and used car dealership located in Woodsville, New Hampshire. Celebrating over 85 years as a family-owned dealership, anything you could want that relates to new and used Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles you can find right here under one roof. From straightforward auto financing to the integrity of our used car collection, Walker Motors is your hometown dealership. Visit us online at walkermotor.net or stop in today. Located on Dartmouth College Highway in Woodsville, New Hampshire.
Here at Fireside Hearth and Leisure, we pride ourselves on providing the best possible product to every customer. Every home is different, and we can provide you with the right product, whether it be a small stove for a small space or a large fireplace that can provide clean, renewable energy to the whole house. Located in Lisbon, New Hampshire, contact us today for a free in-home consultation. Fireside Hearth and Leisure.
Don't delay your health care. It's time to resume important medical services such as chronic disease maintenance, routine screenings, specialist consultations, and vital surgical procedures. Postponing these services is not recommended and may lead to worsening conditions, delayed intervention, or prolonged recovery. You are safe in our care at Littleton Regional Healthcare. Contact your provider's office or call 603-444-9000 to schedule an appointment today. As I said earlier, we are here in Woodsville at Community Field. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. 89 degrees is what I have, and there's quite a bit of wind that's blowing, so you're going to hear that a little bit of an echo. James has done a great job at trying to isolate some of those wind noises, but it might still break through a little bit. We do have the Lumberjacks out there doing a little bit of hitting practice. This is a 4:15 scheduled start, but we are running behind schedule. Their bus didn't leave LinWood until 3:15. Not sure if they caught traffic in the notch or whatnot, but maybe they didn't take the notch. Now that I'm thinking about it, it might be easier to just come the back roads. But in any case, they're here now. They're warming up. We got some time to kill, but we're pretty excited about being here in Community Field. Last time we were here, it was soccer season, and unfortunately, just due to the internet connectivity and the lack of cellular service within this area, we could not get a live signal out. So we recorded the soccer game. It was a great game. I believe it was against Littleton. It doesn't matter at this point, but we recorded it, we put it up, and when we were looking to make sure that we had opportunities to cover some of these live games in these isolated areas, we did some investigation and found some equipment that allowed us to do so. And at the same time, the town of Haverhill in the Woodsville area, they put together a Wi-Fi service here at Community Field. So not only do we have our own system that we're utilizing, but the fans and spectators have an opportunity to connect to the internet here and follow along, send their emails, do their Facebook thing, their Instagrams and their Snapchats to make sure that everybody is alive and well out there and watching these players play these games. It's a great facility here. I'm happy to see that they're actually doing what they can to put the things up into the situation. Talking with Coach Cox earlier, they're actually doing a fundraiser later today. They got they got a grill, they got a tent set up. They're going to be do a home run or a longest ball challenge where the students went out and they got sponsors for so many feet. So they hit 5 balls. The total of 3 of those pitches are going to be tallied up, and that's the total. So if they hit a total of $700 or 700 feet, and somebody donated 10 cents for every foot, then they're ponying up $7, or is that $70? I don't know. For some reason in this heat, I can't math right now, but that's okay. I'm sure you forgive me. But we're getting a good look here at our. We have additional cameras that we brought out to the field. We've got actually 6 cameras live right now. You're looking at our first base line camera that's manned here at the table by our producer extraordinaire, James Duguay. We also have another one on the third base line that is also manned here. You can see the look at that one right there. In addition to that, we have obviously our pitch cam that's out there in center field so that we can take a look at what's going on from center field to give you all the action as the pitcher's on the mound doing the windup. You're getting a look at that one there. And then, of course, you have our manned cameras by Brody Tours on the third base line, as well as Skipper Fillion on the first base line. So we're excited to have a lot of cameras out and available to give us all the angles. Talked with a couple of coaches earlier. One of the thoughts was to put some of these cameras inside of the dugouts. This is about as best you're going to get. We, in talking to a handful of the assistant director, or athletic directors and the coaches, they said, you know what, that it's a nice idea, but that's kind of a safe zone. It's a sanctuary. It's a place for them to go, let down their hair and get rid of some angst if they're behind or celebrate, in their victorious moments. So we wanted to give them that courtesy. So we will not be putting cameras inside of the dugouts. However, we do have plenty of cameras around. We even got one behind the fence, which isn't the greatest of views because of the fence that's there. Maybe we're going to have to elevate that one a little bit higher and get it inside the fence, but we're going to have to get some hefty insurance on that to cover the cost in case a foul ball flies up and hits it. But we've got a lot of cameras all around. We got a lot of players ready to play ball. LinWood's doing their thing to finish up their batting. It shouldn't be too long now. Like I said, we're at the 4:33 at this time, what I have on my clock. Burning a little bit of time that we have. we want to make sure that they get their warm-ups in. It's not necessarily fair to have them jump off the bus and just jump out on the field. So it looks like they're doing what they can. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's sunny. I couldn't be happier about the weather. The breeze is a little refreshing. It's not quite a cool breeze. You got the sun baking down, so it's still kind of a hot air. The heat index with the temperature and the humidity and whatnot are making it feel still a little bit muggy, but at least it's not just a stagnant air that we're sitting in that sun. I'm glad we brought the tent, though. I do know that without the tent, this would be a much, much different scenario. I feel for the camera operators that are out there. We got some sunscreen available for them because you'd think it was the middle of July the way they're standing there. The heat bouncing off the top of those dugouts and really giving it to them. But we're watching the LinWood Lumberjacks do their warm-ups here. We got a handful of players still out on the infield receiving some of the hits from, I believe that's Coach O'Brien there, number 20. But yeah, it should be a decent game. We've got, like I said, we got Landon Kingsbury. He's got his first start on the mound for Woodsville. It's his second game as a varsity player. And we got, a couple of opportunities for these players on the LinWood team as well. Like I said, we got a couple of 8th graders that are out there. I have one of their names. Unfortunately, we did not have a time. We had to go live with our signal, and they were going to be just too busy with trying to scramble to get everything set up on their end for the Lumberjacks. But I do know of a Kason Burrows, our 8th grader. Our other 8th grader, I did not catch a name on that, unfortunately. We'll do our best to get that for you here pretty soon. Maybe we'll hear a first name called from the bench when they cheer him on. But looks like the players are taking their final hits and lining up on the side of the field there. Not really sure how long. Maybe they pushed it to a 4:45 for a start. It's probably just going to be when they decide they've had enough, and then they're going to pull it in and call it a day. But yeah, we're ready for some baseball here. I don't want to burn too many of our commercials too soon, but we could probably do one more. You give a little shout out to our team here at Flume, and we'll roll that single commercial, and then we'll be back for our actual first pitch of the game here in just a minute. So stick around. Welcome back to NHIAA High School Varsity Baseball here in Woodsville, New Hampshire. Got a great shot of the coaches and the umpires for today's matchup. Oh, we're ready to get going. We're about 15-20 minutes behind schedule, but it's all right because after talking with Coach O'Brien and Coach Cox, we may be here for about the 5, knowing that we've got a little bit of a underdog team coming into a pretty strong Woodsville environment. We should see some early leads, early runs, and a shortened game in the whole. But you never know. It really depends on the energy and the activity within each of the teams and their dugouts and their head within the game. A couple of early mistakes may set the Engineers behind. We'll see what happens. But we're done with the speculating. We got the Engineers ready to rock and roll with their positions. We're just getting the final words from the umpires, outlining all of the foul lines, what's going to be the rules for the game, as our esteemed colleague Matt Buto talked to about giving everybody a heads up of what's what on the field to make sure that both teams understand the boundaries, the baselines, and everything as far as the fences and the distances. just giving a good once-over so that everybody has an awareness, so there's no surprises in the field. Every field that you show up to is a little bit different. I know that here we were talking when we were setting up the infield here behind home plate. It's a good 30, 35 feet to the backstop. So that's going to play an interesting part in taking a look at Bryce Williams and whomever they have for a catcher for LinWood. Because if that ball gets by, there is no getting back. It's going to be a race for the pitcher to get to the plate if there's a runner at third to beat that run to get that throw out and the tag. We've seen it happen before. We covered a few games here in the past with other outfits, and if that ball gets by them and it hits it all the way to the backstop, you could see runners get around from first to third. They put the gas on, there's no time to get that around. So you really got to make sure that you've got your legs about you and you're shielding that ball as best as you can, because that distance is extraordinarily far. Seems like the coaches are retiring to the sides. We've got the Woodsville Engineers coming out to take their positions out in the field. We got LinWood lining up to do their thing, and we should be seeing some ball here in just a few minutes. We got the warm-up pitches that are going to come out from Kingsbury as he starts his leadoff. And we're going to be paying close attention to the numbers that are coming out to the team, or coming out for LinWood, so that we can get the batting order squared away. Like I said, the batting order that I had was just to put names up onto the list. Unfortunately, we did not have a chance to get to talk with Kevin O'Brien here at the field. He said it was going to be a game time decision. But I do see number 11 putting a helmet on. Number 11 is John Perry. So he may be our leadoff hitter for the LinWood Engineers, which means we're going to do our things to get them all squared away. But we got a batting order here, John Perry. We got Kingsbury on the mound warming up over to Williams to get some pitches in. They do have their pregame pitch count that allows them to warm up after they've already done that warm-up, and that's at each inning. We've seen that time and time again. It just gets them squared away, get their brain into the game, and they're heading the zone. I'm also seeing on deck, I believe, is number 12. Might be number 2. Yep, it is number 2. Thank you, James. That's Colt Stothard. I'm not sure of the pronunciation on that. I apologize, Colt. But it looks like Colt is probably number 2 for our batting order. So again, I'm going to keep you appraised of the order as we can, and maybe we can catch up to them, and we'll get them into the position as we can. So I'm going to copy all of these down, and we'll do what we can. And we'll put Colt, and then we'll put John Perry. You'll excuse me while I'm talking because I am trying to put... Let me see. We're getting ready for our first pitch here. First pitch is ball. Second one is a ball. Taking a moment to kind of warm up there on the mound. Again, we aren't sure of the assignment. It's a third one in a row. Four balls in a row. We will see Mr. Perry take his first base. That's the first walk of the game. So number 2, Colt Stoddard is coming up to bat with number 13, Cam Manning is going to be on deck. It's another ball. And runners going for the steal. And Perry's safe at second with a stolen base. Kingsbury doing his best to try to get dialed in there. Behind the count, 2-0 right now with 4 straight balls to John Perry, the leadoff hitter. Oh, we got a strike right up the middle, right through the infield. We got Perry stopping at third. We got a base hit by Colt Stoddard. All right, we got Cam Manning, number 13, coming up to bat. What looks like number 21 coming up into the afterwards. Foul ball hit. We got a defensive indifference there as the stolen base by Colt Stoddard gets him over to second. Runners at second and third at this point. Outside there for another ball. Kingsbury do what he can to try to get everything into the scenario, but unfortunately we've got 8 balls thrown right now to a total of 3 batters. That one's in the dirt. 3-1 count. Behind here, LinWood, 2 runners out there, second and third with leadoff Perry and Stoddard. And inside to load the bases with 3 straight. First, their second walk with a base on balls for 2 of them. So that loads the bases with Brady Morris up to bat, number 21. Again, Brady Morris was identified as our pitcher. Hit by pitch to get our first run in. And that's going to put LinWood ahead with an early 1-0 lead. We got a quick conference at the mound. It's a rough start. Again, this is the first start for Kingsbury, second varsity game. So you can understand there's a little bit of shaking nerves on that right now. You hit a batter, he's walked 2, he's got a single that advanced some of the runners around. But that hit by pitch that's a rough one. It's an unearned run. So we got a 1-0 early lead for LinWood as they try to accommodate what's going on here. Look at that double play to. Oh, I guess it wasn't a double play. I thought it was a line drive, but thrown out at home. So we're going to get the next one up is number 3, Mason Clark. It's going to be our 5th batter. But there's a strike thrown there. I'm a little behind. My apologies. There's another strike there. Another ball. This is Mason Clark that's up. Wild pitch. Another runner will score. We got a 2-0 lead right now. Two and two count. Or sorry, 3-2 count. And another walk to reload the bases here at the bottom of the first. Or top of the first, my apologies. This is number 6. This is going to be Dev Patel coming in. Strike thrown. Another strike thrown. Outside for a ball. 1-2 count, 1 out here. Bases loaded. Lumberjacks ahead 2-0, top of the first. Number 6, Dev Patel. And a swing and a miss there for a strikeout. And that is what Kingsbury needs to try to get his head back into this game. It's coming up to the bat now is number 7. Again, I apologize. We were doing our best to get our lineup in as we play here. Number 7 is Daniel Halloran. There's another ball there. I missed 1 or 2. I believe it's a 2-0 count. All 3 runners on the bags are taking their nice lead. Again, I believe that is a 3-0 count. I did miss a pitch there. I may be incorrect. Just trying to reset our order. Foul tip off the face mask. Another foul there. So I'm hearing from we were correct with our count. It is now a full count. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Another foul. Difficult inning. 30 total pitches right now for this top of the first for Kingsbury. Almost batted the side for LinWood. Coming right off of the bus. It's a deep foul ball, and nope, it's going to drop without a chance for catching it, unfortunately. Not without trying. And another in the dirt pass ball. Brady Morris is going to run around for another run in. And that would put Halloran over at first. Actually, it was. All right, now this is number 16. I believe this is one of our 8th graders that were called up. This may be Kaysen Burrows. Again, I didn't have Kaysen's number. I just knew that Kaysen Burrows was one of the two 8th graders that were coming up. Another high one there. Three 3-0 count now. Kingsbury up to 50-plus pitches here at the top of the first. Very difficult first outing. Strike there. That's another one there. 3 strikes. That will retire the side, but not without an amazing bat around for LinWood. We'll be leading off with Perry again, but again, I don't have all the positions here, but I think I can at this time take a look at who these players are in there and get them their right order. So we're going to take a quick break, hear a little from North Country Ford, and then it's going to give me a chance to try to see all these numbers out in the field so we can get you their lineups. You're watching high school varsity baseball here in Woodsville on the Flume Stream Entertainment Network. Welcome back to Community Field here in Woodsville. We're going to be leading it off with Jackson Horn, our designated hitter. Jackson has taken the place for Nick Vigent. Nick is playing our center field position for Woodsville, but Jackson Horn is going to lead off as our designated hitter. I do have what I believe are the positions. I did my best in the minute we had to try to put them in there. We'll get to them in between the first and second inning. At the top of the second, we'll give you your fielding positions and your batting order here. Jackson Horn stepping up, taking a look to see what Morris has to offer today. Brady Morris coming in. Had some nice pitches in the warm-up that I could see. First one's a ball on the outside, though. Tickling 90 degrees here in Community Field in Woodsville. Hot day. The breeze has slowed down quite a bit. Just a bit high for a second ball. Three balls in a row there. Low, but still called a strike. Deep pop fly. Catcher's going for it. Just inside of the dugout warning zone. He was smart to not run it all the way in. I don't think these players get paid enough to look up while running into a dugout. Foul ball nonetheless. That does load the count to Jackson Horn here at the bottom of the first inning. 3-2 count. 3-0 Lumberjacks with an early lead over these Woodsville Engineers. We'll take that first base on balls. Horn's going to occupy first base as Jackson Boudreau comes up for our next batter for the Engineers. Boudreau is our shortstop. First at bat today. He's a sophomore, right-handed batter. Horn's got a little bit of a lead. Making Morris look for it. A little bit low for first ball thrown. Different first inning than we had anticipated with LinWood coming in here. Difficult first inning pitch, Kingsbury. Now the ball there. 2-0 count. Boudreau ahead at this point. Morris still keeping that side eye over to the Horn on first. Boudreau comes around. Delivery. In the dirt and bounced foul. Boudreau doing his best to make something happen to get Horn around at least into scoring position. If not, with some gas all the way over third for an easy score. Ooh, a swing and a miss. And a throw down to second, but it wasn't in time. So Horn got an early jump on that. Advanced to second base, but not before Boudreau struck out. So we got Mike Hogan coming up to bat, number 2. Another sophomore, Mike. He's our second baseman. Mike is a tall guy. Swing and a miss there. Jackson Horn over on second base. Nice pop outside of the infield. Could get Horn all the way around. In the dirt over to third base. Throw to first, and he's out. That's the second out, but not before Horn advances all the way over. We got Cam Davidson coming up. Cam is a 3-sport athlete. We've seen him in a handful of games throughout the season this year and last year. I had a chance to chat with him a little bit. Good-spirited young man. He's a junior for the Engineers. Cam's playing first base. Saw quite a bit of action in the net and on the planks for basketball and soccer field. Do believe that first pitch was a foul tip. 0-1 count. Pop fly, infield fly. Catcher Morris underneath it, caught it, stumbled a bit, but kept the ball, and that's what counts. So, after a pretty close or quick inning, we're going to see LinWood coming up again. Wow, crazy quick inning. We're at the top of the order. Perry, Soddard, and Manning is going to be leading us off. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to see these batters hit them again. So stick around. You're watching Flume Stream Entertainment Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Alpine Clinic,
leaders in orthopedics, sports medicine, pain management, and neurosurgery, offering specialized care in 4 convenient locations: Littleton, Franconia, Plymouth, and North Conway. And by Littleton Regional Healthcare. You're safe in our care here at Littleton Regional Healthcare. Call your provider's office today to schedule an appointment. Welcome back, everybody. Just to remember, today's game will be available for replay right here at stream.flume.com following this broadcast. And all of our games from this season are available for free replays and on-demand viewing on our Roku and Amazon Fire channels. Search for Flume Stream, that's one word, in your Amazon or Roku app, and start watching all our replays for free on your smart TV today. We got John Perry stepping up, number 11, the left-handed senior. He's our shortstop. Walked in his first at-bat. Should say walked at his first plate appearance because a walk does not count as an at-bat. First strike thrown. In the dirt. I wonder what the ruling is. If it bounces off the dirt, then hits the batter, if that still counts. Dead ball when it hits the dirt. So it's a 1-1 count. Sounded good, but it was just a little bit high. 3-1 count at this point. LinWood with a commanding 3-0 lead early. And low for another base on balls. Perry taking his time getting over there. Coming up to bat, Colt Stoddard. Colt is a freshman third baseman, number 2. He got a single in the first at-bat. Doing his best to make an appearance. Strike there for the first one thrown. Top of the second here in Woodsville. Beautiful sunny day. Oh, nice golfing clock right to the second baseman. Thrown out at first. He's rounded second. Oh, double play when he was trying to make it around. Perry tried to push it, do his best, but it did not happen. So that's a 2-out play off of the Colt Stoddard line drive to second baseman. Cam Manning, our catcher, coming up to plate now. Number 13, junior. Cam is the other left-handed batter. Base on balls on his first plate appearance. Thinking about that one, but he did not offer. 2-0 count. Ooh, it's another hit by pitch there. Cam's going to take his place on that one. That's the second one. That outs. That's a hard one. That's 2 hit by pitches. Brady Morris coming up. He was the other one to get hit by a pitch in the first inning. Manning taking his second. Standing steal. Swing, throwing him down. standing up. It was a strikeout. I was behind on the count. My apologies. That was a third strike thrown. So that is a K for Morris. So that will end this lineup here. So we're going to take a look at the batting order and the positions for LinWood and the Engineers, because at this point I did have a chance to take a look at the fielders. So we're going to start with the batting order for the Woodsville Engineers. So we've seen them bat around one time. However, we're going to take a look at them right now. So Jackson Horn is our leadoff hitter. Jackson Boudreau is in second. Mike Hogan batting third with Cam Davidson in our cleanup position. Then we got Mike Massini, Landon Kingsbury, who's the pitcher, who's having a little bit of a difficult go of it today, but he's getting his thoughts collected and get back in there. Much quicker inning that time around. Then we got Jacob Putnam, followed by Mason St. Marie and Bryce Williams. And then over for the LinWood lineup, or field positions, I should say, we've got Brady Morris on the mound, pitching to Cam Manning behind the plate. Over at first base, we got Andrew Morris, and we've got Daniel Halloran over at second base. Colt started at third, and then we got John Perry over at shortstop, and then Mason Clark in left field, and then we do not have the name. It might be Kason Burrows. I apologize to both of our 8th grade players, but that's who's playing in center field, and then we've got Dev Patel in right field. So that is the finishing lineup for the fielders for LinWood. It's going to be a difficult, or not a difficult, I apologize. I was doing two things at once. It's going to be a little bit of a different start here for Engineers as they're coming in. They're down right now with a 3-0 deficit at the bottom of the second. This is not anything like we would expect for them. And last time that Woodsville faced off against LinWood, it was a 0-9 was a win for Woodsville on the road down to LinWood. But here we are with Woodsville behind the bottom of the second. Still plenty of time left to play, but from talking with Coach Cox and Coach O'Brien, they both thought that this was going to be a 5-inning blowout. But here we are with the potential that this could go the full game if LinWood continues to dominate like they did in that first inning. Morris sending a quick strike right down for the first pitch, showing that these Engineers are here to play. So, ball was foul there. Yeah, Mike Massini is up to bat right now. 2 strikes, no balls. Bottom of the second. Mike Massini is a senior, number 11. He's playing in left field for the Engineers. This is his first at-bat today. Crack right to the third, bobbles it, and it goes past shortstop for a standing single. Great crack there by Massini. Get a little bit of a hopeful rally started for the Engineers. And you know they're going to take everything that they can. Landon Kingsbury coming up. He's the pitcher, number 6. First pitch is cracked foul. Brady Morris made short work of that first inning with a single walk, a strikeout, and then 2 field outs. Only 22 pitches or so thrown at this point. Only about half as much as what Kingsbury has thrown for the Engineers. Kingsbury with a deep crack, deep in the left field. It's going to bounce fair to the wall. Massini's going to hold up, and that is a stand-up double for a beautiful shot for Kingsbury to really get things going. You got Jacob Putnam, number 4. Jacob's a freshman. His first at bat. He's our third baseman. 2 runners on for Woodsville, getting a little bit of things going here to make this a bit of a game in this sunny, high 80s game here at Community Field in Woodsville. Morris on the mound in his position, getting ready to throw. A little bit low for the first pitch thrown. You know, from our vantage point, that crack by Kingsbury, I thought it might have the distance. But this is a bit of a deep fence here in Woodsville. It did not go. Another nice hit there. Thrown to third. He checks third base to make sure they're not running, but they got him out at first. Putnam with a nice opportunity there for a sacrifice hit, but third baseman for LinWood, that's Colt Stoddard, made that visual check and totally held up Massini from even thinking about going. So we got Mason St. Marie here, left-handed batter. Deep fly, bounces foul. So 0-1 count to Mason with 2 runners in scoring position. A nice deep drop like that could make this a quick return to a game to be had here for Engineers. Deep right field. That dropped fair. He's rounding. They got one in. Got a second one in. That's a stand-up triple. Look at that. That is beautiful. 2 runs scored on that triple by St. Marie. Beautifully executed. Bryce Williams, our catcher, number 3, coming up for his first plate appearance. But not before a 2-run triple. Another crack going deep into the woods out behind. If anybody's grilling on those porches, they might have an easier time getting that ball than any of us. That one's out of here. Williams into his stance. Watching that one. St. Marie taking an early lead. Cracked foul for another strike. Having a little bit of a difficulty here, and I'm pretty certain it's a 1-2 count. Ump isn't as allowed to vocalize as some of the other umpires that we've seen behind the plate in other games. I'm going to put that as a 2-2 count as our official behind the fence count. We'll update it if we're incorrect. That is a strike 3 thrown right there. So we have the strikes right. Williams going down. Back up to the top of the list with Jackson Horn, number 22. Had a base on balls for his first plate appearance. Jackson's the designated hitter for Nick Vigent. Ooh, making him duck way down low on that one. And I tell you, if he's got a duck, that's a high pitch because Jackson is a tall young man. I'm going to guess 6'1", 6'2", easy. Strike right there. Second one, 1-1 count. Jackson's a junior. Let's see him next year. Morris coming around, getting into a stance. Delivery, crack right to the second baseman. Takes a moment. Out at first. That will retire the side. But not before some damage is done. with the Engineers coming back around. For a 3-2 score at this point. So due up for the Lumberjacks, we're going to have Morris, Clark, and Patel. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stick around.
Here at Fireside Hearth and Leisure, we pride ourselves on providing the best possible product to every customer. Every home is different, and we can provide you with the right product, whether it be a small stove for a small space or a large fireplace that can provide clean, renewable energy to the whole house. Located in Lisbon, New Hampshire, contact us today for a free in-home consultation. Fireside Hearth and Leisure.
Walker Motor Sales is a comprehensive Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram new and used car dealership located in Woodsville, New Hampshire. Celebrating over 85 years as a family-owned dealership, anything you could want that relates to new and used Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles you can find right here under one roof. From straightforward auto financing to the integrity of our used car collection, Walker Motors is your hometown dealership. Visit us online at walkermotor.net or stop in today. Located on Dartmouth College Highway in Woodsville, New Hampshire. Welcome back to Woodsville. We do have a pitcher change. We've got Jacob. I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Jacob Putnam is coming in to pitch for Woodsville. Not sure. Oh, there he is. He did make it over to third. Okay, so Jacob and Kingsbury just swapped spots. It looks like Kingsbury's over on third base now with Putnam on the mound. So that's a little bit of an easy swap for us. There's a throw down to second. And we're going to see our first at-bat for LinWood. Is going to be Andrew Morris, number 5. So this is the first time that Putnam is thrown a pitch in this game. So we're going to take a look and see how things go there. Kingsbury ended with 53 pitches. Ball there. Kingsbury pitched 2 total innings, 12 batters faced with 3 strikeouts. He did get a wild pitch that scored a run, as well as 2 hit-by pitches that were scored in that. It was a difficult outing, but you know what? We're going to see that young man again. He's got a bit ahead of him. He's a freshman, so he's got plenty of time to learn and continue. Nice pop fly into the infield there for a first out. So we got Mason Clark up now, number 3. First pitch was a ball. There's another ball there. Mason had a base on balls in his first plate appearance. That difficult first inning there. Batted around the top of the first. There's a nice little crack there, picked up by Kingsbury. Just in time for the out at first. Beat the runner. Had me questioning, looking to the field up there to get a confirmation. It looked like it beat it, but I've been wrong before. My seat is not the best seat here, that's for certain. Sun has shifted, and James is going to get a tan right on that right-hand side, but only the right-hand side. Dev Patel, number 6, struck out on his first at-bat. Strike thrown on that first pitch. Foul tip. Back to the fence. Swinging forward, trying to make something happen. 3-2 game here. Top of the third, 2 outs. There's a swing and a miss for a third strikeout. That's a nice starting inning there for Putnam. 3 batters faced, 2 field outs, and then a strikeout. And I think I can agree with the crowd when I hear some of them mention that that's the way it should be when we see these Engineers out there on the field. So with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll get back to some live action here at Community Field. You're watching the Flume Stream Entertainment Network. Stick around.
Covering you at home, at work, and at play, George M. Stevens Insurance is the only local agency to offer personal and commercial insurance, as well as health, life, and financial services. With offices throughout the North Country, we service your complete insurance needs. As a trusted choice insurance agency, we research coverage options from the nation's top companies to ensure that your policy works for you. George M. Stevens Insurance, protecting New Hampshire and Vermont since 1882.
Hi there, I'm Chuck Lloyd, president at White Mountains Community College, just talking to you a little bit about our college. We've been here since 1965. We've got 3 locations in Berlin, Littleton, and North Conway, and we're also online. We have a lot of technical programs, and we have a lot of online, remote, synchronous, asynchronous, whatever works best for your schedule. We are the only higher ed institution in New Hampshire above the notches. And what that means for us is we've got to be all things to all people. And we aim to try to do that by responding to workforce needs, industry and business, and partner locally with the needs of our communities. We could not be more excited to host new students coming in January.
Welcome back to sunny Woodsville. 88 some odd degrees here. We got Boudreaux coming up to bat. Struck out his first plate appearance. Coming up on Monday, we're going to be back here in Woodsville again as the Engineers host the Lisbon Panthers over at the elementary school for some girls softball. And then Friday, we'll see these Engineers. First pitch is a ball there. We're going to see these Engineers back in our hometown face off against Sparta. So that's going to be a good game to see. White Mountains Regional taking a nice position near the top of their division in Division 3. Woodsville did get a chance to see White Mountains on the 9th and lost 2-14. But second pitch is a ball there. It's going to be a good one to see these Engineers really bat it around up against the Spartans. Probably about the same size field, looking at what Community Field here has compared to the field over there in White Mountains Regional. But I don't have a measuring stick. I'm not certain. Another ball there. Believe it is a 3-0 count. Boudreaux. It was, because that's his fourth one through. Morris doing what he can to try to make some stuff a little bit like the first and second inning, but only 40 total pitches right now for Morris. He's got 2 strikeouts, 2 base on balls, 13 batters faced. You're taking a look at Hogan at the plate now, right-handed sophomore. Oh, overthrow. That would have been an opportunity, and he's going to take it because it went out of bounds. That play over there at the leadoff, they threw Morris through to the first baseman, and it was just an off throw, and it went well into the stands outside. So Boudreaux walked himself over to second base for a stolen base, putting him into scoring position. If Hogan can make something happen with a crack deep center field, stepping back. Don't know the name, but he dropped the ball. 8th grader to the relay to second, and we're going to have runners in the corners with a deep crack into deep center field by Hogan. Beautiful, beautiful hit there. We got Cam Davidson. We've seen him in many a sports, and if there's a boy that can crack these runners to a lead position, he's the one that's going to get it. That's why he's in that cleanup spot, number 4. First pitch at the knees. Ball 1. Cam did get a shot. I believe it's his second baseman who was thrown out at his first at-bat. Another inside. Hogan's going to walk himself over to second base there for indifferent defensive play. Just letting him take the bag so that the third baseman doesn't run it in. Cam's got runners at second and third. A low pitch. Lost it at the feet for a second. That's right. As we talked about in the pregame, if that got by the feet, you got 30-some-odd feet to the fence here. And, I mean, Hogan at second could score with the time it might take to get that person to get that ball and then throw it back at home. But that's some aggressive playing to get from second to home place on a pass ball. But and a ball there. Davidson looking for his pitch. Trying to make something happen. Crack, there it is, right up through. We're going to see one come in. Boudreau's going to make it. Hesitated on the throw home. We got a stand-up 2 RBI single for Davidson, and that's going to put the Engineers with a 4-3 lead. That hesitation from the third baseman, if he had chucked it in, they may have had a play at the plate. But it's behind us now. It does not matter, as Cam puts us into the lead with a 2 RBI single. Rolls in the dirt. Cam's not going to make a play of it. Morris is going to take a moment, collect himself. Manning is readjusting his helmet after throwing it off, anticipating Davidson getting down to second. Great heads up by Manning and behind the plate there for LinWood. Now the Engineers are looking to play some aggressive ball. They're all hands on deck to make sure. Davidson making the move now. Throw down to second. Oh, and he misses the catch. That's a difficult one right there. Could have had the play, but as it was, Davidson's going to take that steal, put him into scoring position. I do believe it's a 1-1 count. I lost something there for a minute. Massini at bat. Crack there. Deep left field, and it drops behind number 3. Davidson's going to easily run to Massini's stand-up second. Mason Clark out there in left field just couldn't play deep enough on that one there. So that puts us up to 5-3 with a single from Massini. Sending Davidson home. Did I say single? That was my bad. That is actually a double by Massini. Morris feeling a little bit like Kingsbury in the first inning here. Now that we've got some action happening from the dugout of these Engineers. Second pitch a little bit high there. I believe that gives us a 2-0 count. Wind is starting to pick up. You hear a little bit of the echo in the microphone. We enjoy the breeze, but not the noise. Another one Another ball there. So if my eyes were falling correctly, we're way ahead in the count for that. That's a strike there. Kingsbury moved to third base when Putnam came in to relieve him after the second. There's the fourth ball there for a walk. So Kingsbury got a beautiful double in the second inning, and then a base on ball there. Morris is going to get a little bit of a chat, bring a few of the fielders in. Looks like the coaches out there kind of collect their thoughts. They are 0 outs right now with a commanding string, starting off with Boudreaux with a walk, Hogan with a single, and then through a couple of stolen base opportunities, putting them into scoring positions at second and third, and then a deep crack by Cam Davidson that sent both of them around for a 2-3 game. And then Massini got a double to send in Davidson to give them the 5-3 lead. And there's another crack there by Putnam. He dropped it. That's a tough one. That's Mason Clark out there in left field. You know that those are the type of mistakes that end up snowballing on you. You got a couple of drop balls, a couple of missed opportunities, and then before you know it, you're digging out of a hole. But hopefully, I mean, Mason's still a little young. He's a freshman. He's got plenty of years ahead of him to keep practicing, learning from these mistakes, and making himself that much stronger of a player. But it's in an opportunity in a situation like this, playing against the Engineers, that you get some of your best education. Because when the Engineers are on a roll, they're looking to make stuff happen. There's a crack foul. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully we're getting the audio signal at this time. We did have a computer crash on our end, and we apologize for that. The sun was baking right down onto the side of our tent. I made a comment about how it was burning out on James's arm, but James's arm is more resilient than the TriCaster, it seems, because we did have a crash incident. But while we were away, we had the strikeout by Bryce Williams, but then Jackson Horn comes up to bat with a deep center field single to run 2 more runs in, and then Boudreaux got a single to run another one in. So we have an 8-3 game right now by the Engineers. I think it is a 1-1 count at this point to Hogan. This is Hogan's third at bat, a fly out or a field out first at bat, and then a single. And that looks like that was a retired side there. So I was behind in my count there, but that is the final out. Hogan strikes out. Morris makes it out of that inning, but not before some serious damage was done. So much damage it actually shut us down. All jokes aside, the Engineers really came back into their own in that one there. 8-3 is what I have for the score on our end. It is what is matched there in the outfield scoreboard here in the community field. Apologize that we were down for a little bit. Hopefully we didn't lose too many of y'all, but we are back now at this point. Hopefully we're seeing, I'm seeing the screen on our devices. I tell you, weather, inclement weather, whether it's sun, rain, wind, we've seen it all. Sometimes, we've even gone down because somebody actually tripped over the power cord one time. So anything can happen in the air in a live situation out here in the fields, but doesn't stop us. We're happy to do it. We're happy to deliver. We're happy to bring you these live games throughout the North Country. And we're looking to expand some of our coverage in the months to come. So stay tuned for some of the exciting news for potential expansion outside of our D3, D4 territory here in New Hampshire. Right now we do have Putnam still on the mound. Only pitched a few pitches in that third inning. So here we are at the top of the fourth. It is a 8-3 game. It is a throwdown from Manning to the second baseman, which will bring us number 7, our batter, Daniel Halloran. He's a freshman. He got a walk on his first plate appearance. Daniel's playing second base for the LinWood Lumberjacks. Got a little bit of a strut out there. Ready to get back into this game. Hopefully make some stuff happen against Putnam. First strike thrown. Sun is setting, getting some longer shadows out in the field. And as that sun sets to the first base line, you are going to see some sun glare and some sun blindness happening. It probably won't affect these players. Nice line drive through the infield out into left field for a stand-up single by Halloran. Beautiful opportunity there for him to lead off the top of the fourth. Again, Lumberjacks looking to do everything they can to stay within this game. Had an early lead, 3-0. 12 coming in as a sub for 16. And I believe this is our other 8th grader. I did not have it. So again, number 12 could have been Case and Burrows. I'm trying to listen there. Foul ball there. Trying to listen to the Lumberjacks as they're cheering him on, giving him all the support they can. We got a timeout called. And I missed what happened. Maybe the runner advanced, so maybe was that a balk? Runner advance, I got to brush up on some of those deeper book rules for baseball, but we did have the runner, Daniel Halloran, advance to second after the plate ump called and pointed to the bag. So perhaps Putnam was in his delivery and paused out of it, and then we did get an advance there for the balk. So that's what we're writing it down as. Davidson trying his best to make it in there, did not make it in time. Not without grass-stained effort on that left leg, though. He was hauling it to try to get in there for that activity, but just could not make it happen, unfortunately. As a strike 3 thrown. Wonderful effort there by that young man. That was number 12. And again, I think, I so apologize. I think that was Burrows. But again, I got a 12 and a 16. Case and Burrows was the only name I had for the 8th graders for those last 2 that were called up for today's game. Again, LinWood had 4 that were called out. Chase and Manning were not available for the game. And then Goodbow boys were both away, the brothers, Kyle and Jason. They could not make it out. A deep crack to center field. And he catches it with ease. Nice play there by Bryce Williams. Mason St. Marie, Bryce's center fielder. I stopped reading. That was Mason out in center field there. So that's a fly out for Perry, number 11. So it puts us to Colt Stoddard at a single at his first at-bat, and then out in the field. I'm not keeping a book, so I can't tell you what that play was. Keeping a different type of scorekeeping here with our stats engine. There's a foul tip there. Colt is a freshman, number 2. He's playing third base for the Lumberjacks. Thank you for tuning in to the Flume Stream Entertainment Network for this NHIAA Division IV Varsity Baseball game here in sunny Woodsville. 1-1 count. 2 outs now. Putnam making delivery, a foul tip there, bouncing deep to the fence. I apologize. I was behind the count. It's 2-2. I just heard the umpire call. I missed a ball thrown in there early on to Colt. Strike 3 thrown to retire the side. That was a beautiful outing there. A couple of strikeouts for Putnam, and then a deep fly out from Perry's hit there. We will be back in just a few minutes as we welcome the Engineers back up to the plate. You're watching the Flume Stream Entertainment Network.
At Woodsville Guarantee Savings Bank, we understand that everyone's different. We also know that we're a lot alike. We love the things that make us each unique and appreciate the things that make us similar, especially when it comes to money matters. That's why we're here, to help people just like you handle your personal or business banking and be the best you can be. To get started, visit one of our offices or open an account online at theguaranteebank.com. Woodsville Guarantee Savings Bank, just like you.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Alpine Clinic, leaders in orthopedics, sports medicine, pain management, and neurosurgery, offering specialized care in 4 convenient locations: Littleton, Franconia, Plymouth, and North Conway. And by Littleton Regional Healthcare. You're safe in our care here at Littleton Regional Healthcare. Call your provider's office today to schedule an appointment. Interested in advertising during our games or original programs? Drop an email to our staff at advertising@flume.com for more information on advertising packages. Commercial ad space is available for live sports, live music, new upcoming series, and syndicated programs. Visit us online at stream.flume.com to see what we have to offer. And I will say, I was taking a look at our 2022-23 anticipated season of coverage for high school sports throughout the state of New Hampshire, and I'm very excited to be putting some things into motion to get a little bit of an expansion going on for some of our coverage. But right now, we're here with Cam Davidson coming up to the plate here at the bottom of the 4th inning. We got Morris with 68 pitches thrown so far in the game. Got 5 strikeouts, 4 base on balls. Cam Davidson looking at 1-2 with a out in his first at bat, but a deep 2 RBI single in the 3rd inning. We got 2 balls there. 8-3 with the Engineers leading right now. Another ball thrown. Again, Morris is feeling a bit of the push right now. 71 total pitches. Faced 23 batters in the day. There's a strike there. Pretty certain we got a 3-1 count right now. Sun is glaring on that clock. Oh, digging, golfing for that base hit there, and it's going to drop fair with the stand-up single. That right fielder, unfortunately, unable to make that play. Cam Davidson making his presence known today with a couple of singles. Massini coming up, number 11 senior. Mike Massini's playing left field today. Saw a little bit of action earlier with some of those hits from LinWood. Got a single and then a double and then a nice crack there for a base hit. Davidson round in second, holding up. And we may be in the beginning stage of another little bit of a rally here for the Engineers. Two batters faced. Two singles. Kingsbury coming up to the plate now. You got a double and then a base on balls in his second at bat. A little bit high from my view, but the ump called it differently. That's a first strike thrown to Kingsbury. Morris in his position. Making some calculated looks at second and first. Ooh, he wanted that one, but he missed it just underneath for strike two. That's the type of swing that if you connect, both of those runners are getting around. That would have been an easy, deep. Oh, we got a little bit of pass ball. No movement from the runners, though. Playing a little conservative at this time. They got a little bit of a lead and some breathing room, so they're not too concerned about putting that pressure on too deep. They know they got enough of their batting strength to put the pressure on as it is. They don't have to add any extra. It's low for another ball. 2-2 count now. No outs. At the bottom of the fourth inning. Ooh, strike three thrown. Caught Kingsbury looking on that one. Morris needed that. Tickling that 80 pitch count now. 6 strikeouts for the day. 26 batters faced. Still 2 runners on. Timeout called. Not sure what it was for. It had just been the batter saying, you know what? My name's Jacob Putnam. I want a second. High ball 1. Jacob's done a tremendous job filling in where Kingsbury left an opening. Kingsbury did his best at his first appearance there, first start. He had 53 total pitches. And strike thrown there. But Putnam's come in, faced 7 batters himself. Got a handful of strikeouts, no walks. Doing a really good job at keeping. There's a fall tip there, going up high and bouncing on the road. Check your trucks and cars, folks, because that one's coming down on it. The 1-2 count. A little bit in the dirt, bouncing up. Again, Cam Manning doing a great job keeping that ball in front of him, because if it gets past, those runners advance with ease. There's such depth between home plate and this fence here in Woodsville. There's a line drive bouncing off the mound a little, giving a little funny hop. Ooh, and a misplay there from second to short, but it loads the bases. Cam holds up at third. Base hit there from Putnam to give 3 ducks on the pond for Mason, who had an amazing triple, 2-run RBI triple there in that second inning, my apologies, to really get them onto the board to show them, okay, this is the team that we need to be. Mason's the center fielder. Cam taking a big lead. There's a crack up, right up the third base line, past the first baseman. He's going to hold up at first, but not before we see Cam Davidson and Mike Massini come around for 2 more runs in. Yes, that is true. Massini is fast. We have our fans here to the side who's coaching me along with some of these play calls. They know the engineers quite well. As a matter of fact, I may have to come to the next game to get some of that peanut butter fudge she's talking about, because that sounds pretty tasty. She said that she made some for the basketball team, and we know what they did. So some power in that fudge. I'm seeing Jaden Green at the plate right now, so he's a sub. We got a little bit of a wild pitch, or if I was looking down to see who number 20 was. I missed how the action happened, but regardless, it was a ball thrown, and it got past Cam, and then the runners moved to second and third. So this is Jaden Green that's at bat. This is first at bat. We'll have to take a look at this, who he's subbing in for. We got number 18, Nick Vigent, coming up next. And if I'm not mistaken, Nick is the grandson of our, what was your name? I'm sorry. Mary Lee. Mary Lee Vigent, who's our assistant at the stands, who's helping us out today. Mary Lee is very proud of these Woodsville Engineers and all the sports that they've done. So we see Jaden Green with a base on balls there. I was behind the count because I was chit-chatting with her. But we're seeing Nick up to the plate now. And we got a little bit of a conference on the mound. So 18, Jaden Green is coming in for right field, I think they called. So we're going to have to play around with some of our subs on my lineup here. But and we have a pitching change. So we're going to get a little bit of a warm-up time here. We got number 2 coming in. This is Colt Stoddard. He's making his appearance here in this game. And we're going to take a look at where Colt went from third base. And I do believe I'm looking for Morris. 21. Do not see him where he may have shifted to. He may have gone into the dugout and they brought out one of the other ones. So we'll keep an eye on that. But at this point, we do have Colt coming in as a pitcher. And then, again, I'm not sure where Brady Morris went. Colt was on third base. Is that Brady over there on third base? We got number 11 on third base. Number 11 is John Perry, who's a shortstop. So maybe Colt Morris. No. It's hard to see. The numbers on the front are a little bit small. When they turn around, it's nice and glaring and very easy to see off their bright red uniforms. However, when they're on the front, it's a little obscured. And of course, yeah, I think that's it. I think we see Morris went to short, and then Colt went to the mound, and then John Perry, number 11, moved over. No, it looks like they were just conferencing. So it looks like it's an even change, because now I see the numbers. We do have 21 Morris at third base, with John Perry still in the shortstop position. So we'll just do a quick flippity flip here. All right. First pitch is a strike. Swing and strike there. Looking to make an impact here. 2 runners on the bags. We got Putnam and Jaden Green. Oh, I'm sorry. We got Putnam, Green, and Massini, I believe, is out there. Yes. Foul there. So bases are loaded at this point. I missed what St. Marie must have been. Is that a walk, maybe? Apologize. Oh, it passed it, but they're all holding up. Yeah. They're holding up. Jacob Putnam on third base did not make the move to run, so everybody else was kind of stuck with lead shoes at second and first. We got, I believe, a 2-2 count at this point to Nick. Foul tip there. Nick's a senior, and he was playing out there in right field, but he was sitting with a designated hitter in Jackson Horn. So I'm wondering if they're allowing Nick to hit and pulling Jackson out of the game. He had an amazing setup. Another foul tip there. A lot of pitches right now coming to Nick. Not a lot of chatter coming from either dugouts. Struck out on that one. He was displeased. But that's the truth of the game sometimes. And we're around to number 13, Boudreau, going to be hitting here. Boudreau has had a strikeout in the first inning, walk the third inning, a base hit, and then, thrown out at first. Great hustle on that, but unfortunately it was not enough to get around where we needed to. So, after 5 innings, after 4 innings, we're coming into the 5th. We've got a score of 10-3 by my calculations. We got a little bit of a game started here, but we'll take a look at Cam Manning, followed by Brady Morris and Andrew Morris. When we get back, you're watching Engineers hosting the Lumberjacks here on the Flume Stream Entertainment Network. Welcome back to Community Field here in Woodsville. We got a couple of subs coming in for the fielders. I do see Zach Frizzell, number 12, over at first base. And then we saw number 24, who is Alex Danforth, heading out into right field. And then I did not get a chance to scan everybody else. We still got, looks like, yeah, we got somebody else catching. Looks like maybe Jaden Green, the sophomore, number 20, catching. So we got quite a switch up of all the players. Austin Roy, the junior, is now out in center field, number 44. So we're going to have to do a little bit of cleanup on our lineup here. But hopefully we're not going to deter from the game. Right now we do have number 13, Cam Manning, who is, by all accounts, still catching for the Lumberjacks. Top of the fifth. 3-10 is the score here, with Woodsville with a little bit of an early deficit, but then quickly recapturing the lead there with some amazing hits from the Engineers. Cam Davidson with a 2 RBI single, then St. Cyr with a 2 RBI triple, and then a few more trickling in along the way. Strike thrown for first pitch there. Putnam still doing his best to maintain position on that mound. There's a foul tip right back at James's face. Thanks, there's a fence there, because that would have been scary. You know, I've been in James's position in that producer's chair, and I don't even think he knew it was coming. You get so focused on everything going on there. Ball low and in the dirt there. 1-2 count to Manning. Heat still lingering in that high 80s right now. Sun is settling, so we get a little bit of shade to get some relief in some areas. Camera operator Brody Torres still in direct sun. Feel for him. Ooh, swing and a miss, but drop third ball. Pass ball there and thrown out at the bag. So Cam Manning will miss his opportunity on that one. And junior number 21, Brady Morris, who is now our third baseman. He did an amazing job. 80 some odd pitches till Stoddard came in. Strike thrown there. Brady was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Struck out in the second. He's behind in the count here. 0-2. Just a little outside. Ball thrown there. Putnam trying to recollect. Maintain everything he can to stay in control of this game. Ooh, he offered. Ump saw it. Went around. It's going to be a strike 3 called. Didn't fully commit, but it did not matter. So Cam Manning with a strikeout. And then Brady Morris with a strikeout. Moving to Andrew Morris here. Number 5. Ball thrown there. Forgot to lift my microphone. I'm drinking my water right into the mic. That's a little rude. I apologize. Strike thrown there. Forget how parched you get in these humid, hot days sitting here talking and jawing into the microphone. Usually I got a sidekick beside me that's on the headset with me. Unfortunately, they're umping a game today best of luck to Mr. Buto as he continues with his umping and working those games. He's got a championship game this year, which is exciting for him. Glad to see. Ooh, foul tip there. Bounced off his leg, and he's got a little bit of a hobble there. Caught the inside of his knee. That could be rough. 2-2 count. 2 outs. Top of the 5th. And a swing and a miss there. Tagging him just to make sure. And Morris will strike out. So 3 up, 3 down. And we're going to get to see a little bit more. And I don't even pretend to want to call out who's going to be up because there was a handful of side changes there. Do believe we're supposed to see Hogan, Davidson, and Massini. But again, I'm not really certain how that's going to play out. But as the Lumberjacks take the field to warm up again for the bottom of the 5th, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stick around.
Covering you at home, at work, and at play, George M. Stevens Insurance is the only local agency to offer personal and commercial insurance, as well as health, life, and financial services. With offices throughout the North Country, we service your complete insurance needs. As a trusted choice insurance agency, we research coverage options from the nation's top companies to ensure that your policy works for you. George M. Stevens Insurance, protecting New Hampshire and Vermont since 1882.
Walker Motor Sales is a comprehensive Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram new and used car dealership located in Woodsville, New Hampshire. Celebrating over 85 years as a family-owned dealership, anything you could want that relates to new and used Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles you can find right here under one roof. From straightforward auto financing to the integrity of our used car collection, Walker Motors is your hometown dealership. Visit us online at walkermotors.net or stop in today. Located on Dartmouth College Highway in Woodsville, New Hampshire.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here in Woodsville as the Engineers host the Lumberjacks. We've got Stoddard on the mound still after Morris had an amazing first half of the game. We're seeing Mike Hogan come up to bat. Mike bats 3rd in the order. Had an out in his first at-bat, single and then a strikeout. He's our second baseman for the Engineers. And then we got a handful of subs that are going to be coming in here, so we're going to do our best to give them to you. We don't have all of them right up. First pitch outside to Hogan was a ball. Shadows are starting to get longer and longer on that field. A little bit high again for a second ball thrown. Stoddard trying to gain some composure. A little behind at the start of this inning here. Here's the delivery. Foul tip. Top of the backstop. 2-1 count. Breeze settled down quite a bit from what it was when we were setting up. We actually taped down the monitors just to be safe. But we did not put anything up to shield. Foul tip there. We didn't shield the sun from the machine, and it overheated in that direct sunlight and caused us to crash at one point halfway through the game. So thankfully it wasn't a neck and neck. It was still a commanding lead by the Engineers at that time. Did miss some plays. Another foul tip. Hogan really making Stoddard work on this one. Seven pitches thrown on this at-bat alone. Another foul tip. Bouncing into the truck across the road. LinWood engineer running over to get it. Help us out along the way. 4 foul tips, 2-2 count. Swing and a miss there. Trying hard, just a little below it. And Hogan strikes out. So, batting 4th now, we have number 12. That is Zach Frizzell. Deep crack, but it went way right, knocking some birds out of some trees. That was straightaway center. It would have bounced off the playground, I think. He got a hold of that one and sent it. Roy Hobbs on that one. Strike 2 thrown. 0-2 count with 1 out. Bases are empty. Foul tip up. Fearing my van behind us. I think that one may have gone into the pool. They had a gentleman here earlier working on getting things set up. I got a feeling that they're going to try to get that pool opened here pretty soon. Still a little work to do, but I told him if he can get it filled up, I'm going to jump in today. That was pretty hot. Ball there. 1-2 count. Couple fouls. Swing and a miss there for another strikeout. It's taken a handful of pitches to get there. But Stoddard is making quick work. We got LinWood's bus backing up. I do see some LinWood softball players walking around here in uniform, so I'm anticipating that the LinWood girls game is over. There's a pop fly to first base in foul territory, caught for the 3rd out of the inning. 1-2-3, that inning is over. Stoddard making some great headway to get through these. So we're going to go into the top of the 6th inning here, and depending on what lineup changes, actually I recant that. There's not a lot of lineup changes that can happen for LinWood. They've got 10 players here. So we're going to see Clark, Patel, and Halloran up to bat when we return. Top of the 6th here at Community Field in Woodsville. Stick around. Welcome back here to Woodsville Community Field. We're going to be back here in Woodsville on Monday as the Engineers face off against the Lisbon Lady Panthers for softball field action. And then on Friday, we're going to head over to White Mountains Regional High School, where the White Mountain Regional Spartans are going to take on these Engineer boys in a D3, D4 matchup next Friday the 20th. So it's been a lot of Engineer coverage these last few games. We missed a few basketball games, and we want to make sure that we got our Woodsville coverage in for the season. So coming up to bat now, we got number 3 with a foul tip just outside. Mason Clark. I think that did bounce off of the pool house. So first pitch thrown is a foul. Mason Clark, our freshman left fielder, number 3. Jumping away from that inside pitch. 1-1 count. I do see the lady engineers here, as well as the lady lumberjacks. So they're here to cheer on their respective school teammates and classmates. Third ball thrown there. Clark ahead, 3-1 in the count. Putnam looking for his pitch. It's a bit high there. My apologies. I believe that was the third ball. So may we have a full count now? I missed a pitch along the way. Again, unofficial here. Trying to see what's on the scoreboard. Just too much of a glare to see if it's even there. That one is a ball. And we will take a walk on that one. So, handful of pitches. Mason Clark will take his bag. Dev Patel will step up. Dev has had a difficult start to this game here with a strikeout in the first and the third. There's a crack. Looks like it might drop foul. It did. It dropped foul. But Zach was looking to make some action on that. Trying to see, it was number 12, Zach Frizzell. He's in at first base now. Again, I'm still working on this scoring spreadsheet here to update for subs. We got it great for the beginning of the game with the lineup and the strike there. But when subs come in halfway through the game, I haven't built in a mechanism here to easily switch them out. So we're going to have to continue to work on that. But we know who's batting. Dev looking to swing and a miss there. Foul tip behind him. Doing his best to make some action happen. Putting him with about 46 thrown pitches at this point. 6 strikeouts. 11 batters faced. And it's just about the point where Kingsbury bowed out of the game. Kingsbury did 53 pitches. After 2 innings, he was finished. And it looks like perhaps another balk there for another advanced pitch. Or for another advanced runner, I mean. That's twice that we've seen that happen today. I think I was talking about Putnam both times, so maybe I shouldn't. As a Dev, the nice little digger, running it out to first base. Unfortunately, could not make it in time. But not before. Nice crack of the bat for him. So it will not be a strikeout this time. And we got number 7, Daniel Halloran, coming up. He got a hit in the 4th. And then a base on balls to lead things off in the first inning. So this is his 3rd at bat. Daniel's a freshman, batting 8th in the lineup. One-0 count now. Top of the 6th. Cracked foul there. Frizzell getting a lot of action on that first base line. Infield now nearly covered in shadows. Pitch on the inside there. 2-1 count. Runner on second. No out. 1 out. The bobbler hit on the line. Could not beat the throw. So he's going to be out at first for Halloran. However, Mason Clark in scoring position now over at third base. So we got number 12 coming in. This is our elusive 8th grader. 12 and 16 are our 8th graders. And I know that Kaysen is one of them. It's either 16 or 12. But Kaysen Burrows and then the other 8th grader that came up to help out. This is Kaysen. I just heard it from the field. There's a pass ball there. Clark is going to hold up there on third base. Like I said, not a lot of chatter coming from either of the dugouts when their batters are up. Swing and a miss there. And that is 3. I was behind on my count. So that is the end of the inning. So here we go into the bottom of the 6th inning. Leading things off, I believe, well, again, I forgot about the switch-ups that we had. So on my sheet, it was Kingsbury, Putnam, and Marie, or St. Marie. But I'm not sure if that's the true order. I do see Kingsbury with a bat. But outside of that, I'm not entirely certain. So we know we're going to see Kingsbury. But Putnam's still pitching, so he's going to be there. I'm not sure if Mason St. Marie is still in. But we'll take a look and see what we got. And then we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stick around.
Here at Fireside Hearth and Leisure, we pride ourselves on providing the best possible product to every customer. Every home is different, and we can provide you with the right product, whether it be a small stove for a small space or a large fireplace that can provide clean, renewable energy to the whole house. Located in Lisbon, New Hampshire, contact us today for a free in-home consultation. Fireside Hearth and Leisure.
Welcome back to Woodsville, New Hampshire. We're watching the Engineers host the Lumberjacks. We got to throw down to second base there. I want to give a shout out and thank you to Woodsville Guarantee Savings Bank. They're the host of our replays. We haven't had a lot of replays able to play here today. We got a little behind the 8 ball on some stuff, but Woodsville Guarantee Savings Bank, where they celebrate everything that makes people unique, and then the same, especially when it comes to banking. Woodsville Guarantee Savings Bank, just like you, member FDIC. We got first pitch here to Kingsbury in the dirt, rolling all the way back over to Putnam, is going to throw it around. Stoddard still on the mound. I had a trip up with some of his pitch count there, but right now I have 14 pitches, but I know that that's not the total count. He had a handful that I didn't score in there when we were down. Strike thrown there. Swing and a miss. It's another strike to Kingsbury. Kingsbury had a double in his first at-bat. It was a nice rally in the middle of the inning there that got him a bunch of runs. And a base on balls and a strikeout. He's got a hit, a walk, 1 strikeout. He's batting 6th in the order here. He's even in the count 2-2 at this point. Nobody on, nobody out. Lead off at the bottom of the 6th. Good eye on that one, a high ball. 3-2 count. Making Stoddard anticipate what's going to happen next. Certainly making him work on this one. And a bounce ball 4 will send him over to first base. Putnam coming up to bat. Followed up by number 44, Austin Roy is on deck. So he's one of our subs that we're still looking to move things around to get them into the order appropriately. High ball 1. Here's the windup. Swing and a miss there. Jacob Putnam has seen this plate a handful of times today. He got out in the second inning rather, and then 2 singles. Batting 7th in the lineup today. Did get moved into the pitcher's position after Kingsbury was pulled out. Throw from Stoddard over to first to keep Kingsbury honest. 1-2 count now. No outs. 10-3 lead for the Engineers. Solid crack off the bat, foul into the third base line. Base coach had to dodge that one. Wind picking up. It's a much more refreshing breeze at this point now, though. Starting to feel it cool down in the air now that the sun's tipped down behind the trees. Bobbled ball there, but Manning's able to stand in front of it to keep it there. Talked about that early on, and he's done an impressive job at making sure that they're staying right where they're supposed to. Low for a third ball. Full count now. Putnam in his position. Throw from Stoddard over to first base again. Andrew Morris on first. Grabbing that ball, bringing it in. Kingsbury not scared to make another lead right away, though. Foul ball out into the parking lot area, over the fans. Still 3-2 count. Runner on first, bottom of the 6th. That's a single crack right to the third baseman. Long throw across the infield over to first base. Runner is out. Kingsbury had enough of a lead off of first that he was very easily over to second. Pretty much about the same time the throw was made. So runner on second, 1 out. With number 44, Austin Roy up to bat. Austin's a left-hand batter. This is his first at-bat. Not sure which spot Austin is occupying. I think I saw him out in right field. Ball thrown there. Crowd has picked up a little bit once the girls' game finished over at the elementary school. 1-0 count. Another one low. 2-0 to Austin Roy. Austin's left-handed batter, a junior, the Engineers. Strike just on the outside there. Caught him looking. The sun has disappeared a bit, but the temperature still lingers. We're in the high 80s here. And that's a ball 4. I was behind in my count. So Roy will walk. We got number 20, Jaden Green, coming in. This is Jaden's second at bat. He walked his first time up. Got a strike thrown there. Jaden's a sophomore, right-handed batter. Don't recall his position of play at this time. It says he bats false. So I got an error in my data set there, but this is Jaden, number 20. High pitch. Manning had to jump out of his stance to catch that one there before it went behind him. I believe we're working at 1-2 count now. That one did get behind, and both runners are going to advance. This is what we talked about. Manning, unfortunately, not able to capture that one like he has all night. He's done a great job at that. But that one just slipped between the legs, and both runners were advanced before he even got to the ball. That's that deep backstop here at Woodsville that catches you every time. Really make the catcher work for that situation. So, runners on third and second with a 2-2 count now, I believe, to Jaden Green. High for another ball. That fills it up, I believe. We're going to see if Stoddard is going to maintain this position or if he's going to load him up for Alex Danforth, who's coming up to bat next. Ooh, foul tip to stay alive. Engineers here with a 10-3 lead at the bottom of the 6th inning. All 3 of the runs for LinWood came in the first inning. And there's ball 4. A little flip of the bat to load the bases. And we're going to see Alex Danforth, number 24, come up now. This is Alex's first at-bat in the evening. He's a senior. I did not catch his position where he's at. We'll have to see that if we can catch him on the way out in the outfield or into the field next time. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Stoddard in his stance. Strike a little bit low, but it's going to count. Oh, and a deep crack out in the center. Oh, and he missed the catch, unfortunately. They're going to tag up, throw it third, but not before. Yes, he's out at third with the force, but not before Kingsbury spins around for another run. So Danforth with an RBI single. But not before we did get an out there. So we got number 13. It was Jackson Boudreau. We've seen Jackson up a handful of times today. Strike, first pitch thrown there. Jackson struck out his first at bat. Oh, that sounded like it hit off the helmet. So he'll be hit by pitch, and he'll take his base. He's walking a little bit slow, advancing around there. Yeah, it hit the back of his head. That's going to hurt. So that's the first hit by pitch for the Woodsville side. For the LinWood side. We got number 2, Mike Hogan. He's our second baseman. This is his 5th at bat. 2 strikeouts, a single. Strike there. We got runners on first, second, and third. As I said, 3 ducks on the pond, I heard, in a NCAA game. Oh, there's a pass ball. The runner's going to make it in, standing up without even a slide. That's a tough one there, as we talked about. So Mike Hogan with a 2-1 count. But we got a 12-3 lead here for the Engineers after the pass ball pitch there by Stoddard. Swing and a miss. 2-2. 2 outs. No, it's 1 out. My apologies. And there's a bobbler hit. I guess it was 2 outs. I apologize. So, yeah, with that one, we got another field out, and that is the inning side there. So as we head into the top of the 7th, I do believe we're going to be seeing the top of the order with number 11, John Perry, leading things off to get us back to beginning of the game where we sat. It's been a heck of a game with quite a few plays here. Trying to look at some of the scoring data here. John Perry, Colt Stoddard, and Cam Manning going to be leading things off here. I'm very distracted. My apologies to you all. We'll be back in just a few seconds. I'm going to gain my composure. It's got to be the sun. So stick around. We'll be right here. Welcome back to live action here in Woodsville. 2 pitches thrown to John Perry. 1 ball, 1 strike. And there's another swing for a foul. Strike 2. This is John's fourth appearance at the plate. He walked the first inning and the second inning, and then was thrown out in the fourth. And he's just a touch behind, 1-2 count now. Evened up there for a 2-2 count. He is the top of the order for LinWood. There's a cracked foul. Brody almost caught that one up on top of the dugout, but he knows better to stay with the camera and not with the ball. Unless, of course, James instructs him to follow the ball with the camera, but then he's on the ball. Brody's always on the ball, right? There's a solid hit there to the second baseman, who snags that line drive catch. That was a beautiful play, faster than I could see it. But Boudreau with the shortstop play there. I said second. It was headed to second, but it was the shortstop that made the play there. So Colt Stoddard showing bunt, bobbled it, does go foul. It would have been a beautiful bunt, but it just happened to bounce and then have a backspin because he bunted just underneath it. So it rolled back foul after the catcher jumped right up to make the play on it. Swing and a miss for strike two. As we're closing in on the final plays here in the game, top of the seventh, swing and a miss for a strikeout there. 2 outs now. 1 out away for Putnam's save. Coming in for Kingsbury after 2. Putnam's pitched 64 pitches here. 8 strikeouts. I've got 8 strikeouts and 3 hits. 16 batters faced. Potentially Cam Manning being the last batter faced. We went down for a second there. Cam got that first base single, then Brady with a double. Throwing to Morris here. Andrew Morris for a second strike. Putnam doing a great job here on the mound. Maintain the lead that they've had through the game after that first inning. There's a solid hit there. Third baseman bobbles the ball there. Fortunately, Kingsbury missed that play there for a stand-up single from Morris to put runners in the corners with Mason Clark coming up. Pop fly, shallow center. 3 of them go into it. Nobody makes the play. Zach missed it. 3 of them headed towards it. And that single's going to load the bases now with a little bit of a 7th inning rally here from Clark. Putting Dev Patel up to bat. Dev struck out twice tonight with an out with the thrown out in the single that he was going for. Swing and a miss there. I missed the play there. We did have a LinWood runner run all the way home on that after the tag up. So it is now 5-12. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Putnam with his windup. And a strike there. I was ahead on my count. High for another ball there. Two runners on. Patel with the 2-2. Solid crack there with a stand-up single to load the bases. Patel doing a great job keeping them in the game. Now Halloran up to bat. Halloran had a walk in the first inning, a single in the 4th, and was thrown out in the 6th. This is his 4th appearance on the night. We got a solid run here by LinWood late in the game with the first pitch thrown as the ball. Halloran's batting 8th. He's our second baseman. 1 for 3 on the night. Swinging a hit there. Over to third baseman. Oh, and he went to make the tag, and he's safe on the bag. Zach dropped the ball on that instead of rushing to the bag, and we got another run in. That's a tough one. Now we got Kason Burrows coming up, the 8th grader. Bases loaded now, 2 outs. Pass ball, Burrows stepping out. And we got another run scored by LinWood, bringing it to 7-12. Putnam's losing a little bit of composure here at the end of the game. He's done a great job all the way through. A couple of little field mistakes. Got 2 errors, I think it was, on the game. Strike there to Burrows. 1-1 count. 7-12 game. Inside. 2-1 count. Runners on second and third after an unbelievable rally by LinWood here in the late part of the game. Another inside pitch to put the count 3-1. Kason Burrows now ahead against Putnam. As his pitch count climbs, we got 81. Oh, a pause on the call there. A strike finally called to fill it up. 3-2 count now. Comes down to these final moments for Putnam. And an inside ball loads the bases again. Bringing us back up to the top of the order where we started at the top of this 7th inning. So we got a repeat of what happened in the first inning with the side batting around. And here we are with Perry at his 5th at-bat. 2 walks, 2 outs, and a strike first pitch thrown. Batting first in the order is our shortstop, senior number 11, John Perry. As I said, 2 walks early in the game. And it hit the batter. That's going to cost them another run. So now it's 8-12. And we're going to have a moment on the mound here. We're going to see what's going to happen. We got a handful of errors that are happening out in the field. We know that Putnam's getting a little bit tired in his long run up there on top of the mound. Not sure if this means that he's not going to finish the game. He's got 4 2/3 innings pitched at this point now, 23 batters faced. But with everything that's happening, we just need to get 3 nice pitches to move things around. But I tell you, not before these Lumberjacks have really made a power play here late in the game. Colt Stoddard up to bat now. He's got a base hit at the first part of the game, an out and then 2 strikeouts. Colt's a freshman. Swing and a miss there for first pitch thrown. Outside. 1-1 count there. Strike right down the middle. Caught him looking. 1-2 count. This is where Putnam needs to dig in deep. Get out of this hole he's dug himself. Bounce ball past them. Runners will advance. And now the Woodsville's home field is playing a part in their lead dwindling as we continue on. So that pass ball there, while pitch, however you want to score that, advances a runner 9-12 at this point. Runners on second and third with a 1-2 count to Stoddard here at the top of the 7th. In the dwindling hours of this long, hot game. Pop fly. Bobbled and missed. The errors keep piling against these Engineers. Still just a foul, but that could have been the out that they needed at this point. 1-2 count. Nerves are shot. Not the game that Woodsville was anticipating coming in here, knowing that LinWood had watch out. Oh, they're almost grilling that one. Literally, they're setting up for the home run challenge that they got coming on after this game. And that foul ball almost landed in the burgers. Another foul tip there, almost taking out our camera operator Skipper on top of the third base dugout. Or first base dugout, rather. These Lumberjacks are scrapping to stay alive here. An impressive start to the game. Another foul tip. They are looking to make something happen. Calling for additional baseballs from the dugouts because they're running out of them. I heard the LinWood bench call 2 ants on the log with the bases and a deep fly ball out into center, making the play on it, catching it to finally close out this inning and finish up this game, but not before a handful of runs come in for the Lumberjacks. 6 runs scored to bring the total score in 9-12. These Lumberjacks made it an impressive showing of the game. Wonderful job. The Engineers, they battled it out for the rest of what they need. The final score on the game is 9-12, with the Engineers finishing it off, but not without an amazing run there at the end of the game, top of the 7th inning. Couple base runners stranded at the end of the game there with a handful of errors that really counted against them, unfortunately. But as the sayings go, the numbers on the board don't lie. In the end, it's still a W for the Engineers, and LinWood will fall to 4-6 on the season. And then the Woodsville will go 9-3 on the season. But I'll tell you, that was an impressive outing by all four of those pitchers that we saw. Kingsbury had a difficult start off at the beginning of the game, throwing 50-some-odd pitches there just in 2 innings alone. And then Putnam came in for the remainder of the game with 92-some-odd pitches thrown, 8 strikeouts. Morris on the other side with 7 strikeouts, pitched 4 1/3 innings for 96 total pitches. Then Stoddard came in to help him close out the game with 50-some-odd pitches. But that's your final score there, 9-3 here from Woodsville. I want to give a shout-out to my crew. James Duguay doing an amazing job both with keeping on top of everything that was happening and then helping us to recover as we shut down inappropriately a couple of times from the heat from the TriCaster. That sun was just dwindling us. But I want to thank you for tuning in today for the Littleton Regional Healthcare's coverage of the 2022 NHIAA Division IV Boys Baseball here in Woodsville. I want to give a shout out to James as well as Brody and Skipper. They were on our cameras. And I want to give a special shout out to these advertisers who made today's production possible. Gail at Littleton Regional Healthcare and the Alpine Clinic, Jeff at George M. Stevens & Sons, Matt at White Mountains Community College, Jan over at Woodsville Guarantee Savings Bank, Mike at North Country Ford, and of all of our regional supporters on top of them, and of course our viewers. My name is Chad Fillion. Engineers knock it down 12-9 over the Lumberjacks. This has been a Flume Media production. Have a good night.